This is On Point with Miss Britt, bringing you Week 12 NFL recap. I know it's been a minute for me to get this video out, but y'all just gotta bear with me. I had a rough Thanksgiving week. Go ahead, laugh, say what you gotta say, but I'm here and I'm still repping. And let's get into it. Let's just address the elephant in the room. We're gonna start off with the Giants and the Cowboys. Now, before I go into the recap, I already expected us to be honest, I expected us to lose because we have so many injuries. It's like every week is something new. We are literally fighting. And you know what? I'm proud of my boys. They fought hard. They knew going in we had adversity and they fought to the end. And I can't be mad at them about that. Now, this coming up week, we got to get it together and we got to beat them Commanders so we can at least try to make the playoffs. All right. So the first half, the Giants were up. Saquon Barkley had a 1-yard touchdown run. Graham Gano, he had a 57-yard field goal and a 47-yard field goal. The second half, the Cowboys just took off. That second half belonged to them. So their tight end, Dalton Schultz, he had 2 touchdown passes from Dak, a 15-yard and a 6-yard. And then Peyton Hendershot had a 2-yard touchdown run. Dak Prescott finished 21 for 30, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Saquon Barkley was held to 39 rushing yards, which is really, really low for him. And the Cowboys won 28-20. Moving on, another Thanksgiving game was the Bills versus the Lions. Okay, so Bills kicker Tyler Bass made a 45-yard field goal to win the game with 2 seconds left after missing an extra point late in the fourth. So they beat the Lions 28-25. Josh Allen was 24 for 42, 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a 19-yard pass to Isaiah McKenzie and a 5-yard touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs. And he had an interception. He also had 78 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. Lions, Michael Bagley, he kicked a 51-yard field goal to tie a game with 23 seconds left. He had missed a 29-yard field goal late in the third. And then Lions quarterback Jared Goff, he took a sack for a safety, which cost the Lions the game. So like I said, the Bills won 28-25. All right, now Sunday, we had the Browns versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and that game actually went into overtime. So Nick Chubb, he scored on a 3-yard touchdown to give the Browns the win in overtime. He had 116 yards on 26 carries, so they beat the Buccaneers 23-17. The Browns forced overtime when their tight end Njoku, he had a 12-yard one-handed touchdown catch with 32 seconds left in regulation. Tom Brady, he had 2 touchdown passes, a 28-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans became first Tampa Bay player to reach 10,000 yards receiving. But Tom Brady couldn't get going in overtime. This was Jacoby Brissett's last game before Deshaun Watson's return, and he finished the game 23 for 37, 210 yards, a touchdown and an interception. The Raiders versus the Seahawks. This game also went into overtime. So Josh Jacobs, he had an 86-yard touchdown run to win in overtime for the Raiders, 40-34. He had a franchise record of 229 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He was the 4th player in the Super Bowl era with at least 300 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns in a game. The Raiders forced overtime when Derek Carr had a 5-yard touchdown pass to Foster Moreau with 1:54 left on the clock. And Carr threw an interception on the first play of the game, but he ended up coming back and getting it together. He finished 25 for 36, 295 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Seattle's quarterback Geno Smith, he had 328 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then Kenneth Walker III rushed for 2 touchdowns for Seattle, but it wasn't enough. The Bengals versus the Titans. So Joe Burrow, he threw a 27-yard touchdown pass to T. Higgins to keep Cincy ahead in the fourth. The Titans made a last effort, but was held to a 38-yard field goal made by Caleb Shudak. So the Bengals ended up winning 20-16. Cincy, they were still missing Joe Mixon due to concussion protocols, and then Jamar Chase to a hip injury. Cincy has won 3 straight over Tennessee and the last 5 of 6 against the Titans. Joe Burrow, he had 270 yards and a touchdown. And Titans running back Derrick Henry was held to 38 yards, his second lowest of the season. Chargers versus Cardinals. All right, so Justin Herbert had the comeback of his life. He had a 1-yard touchdown pass to Austin Eckler with 15 seconds left. He decided to go for 2, and the pass was complete to Gerald Everett. The Chargers ended up beating the Cardinals 25-24. Herbert led a fourth quarter comeback with 7 plays on a 38-yard drive, and that lasted 1:33. He was 35 for 47, 274 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And he has now led 10 fourth quarter comebacks in his 3 seasons. Kyler Murray, Cardinals quarterback, he threw 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 33-yard pass to DeAndre Hopkins, and an interception, and then he also ran for a touchdown, but it wasn't enough. Chargers came back on him. All right, so we have some key games. Vikings versus Patriots. The Vikings ended up beating them 33-26. The Vikings rebounded from a blowout loss to the Cowboys. So they're back on track. Kirk Cousins threw for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Justin Jefferson had 139 receiving and a touchdown. So the Jags versus the Ravens. Ravens fans, I know they need prayer. Shoot, I thought my team needed prayer, but y'all need prayer. So the Ravens blew a 27-20 lead with 2 minutes left. Lamar Jackson had a 12-yard touchdown pass to Josh Oliver, and then they did a 2-point conversion, which was complete to Mark Andrews. Trevor Lawrence led a 75-yard drive with no timeouts. He had a 10-yard touchdown pass to Marvin Jones Jr., and then they decided to go for a 2-point conversion, and it was complete to Zay Jones. So Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, he missed a 67-yard field goal as time expired, and the Jags beat the Ravens 28-27. Trevor Lawrence, the Jags quarterback, finished 29 for 37, 321 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And apparently Lamar took to Twitter and had a few things, but then he deleted it. He had a few words about that game. All right, 49ers versus the Saints. The 49ers forced 2 fumbles from Alvin Kamara. Robbie Gould, he had a 24-yard and 46-yard field goals. And Garoppolo threw a 5-yard touchdown pass to Juwan Jennings, and that was the only touchdown. So 49ers win. That was the only touchdown of the game. So 49ers beat the Saints 13-0. And Monday Night Football, we had the Steelers versus the Colts. And Pittsburgh running back Benny Snell Jr., he came in the game for Najee Harris, who was ruled out the first half due to an abdominal injury. And Benny Snell Jr., he had a game of his life. He got his first carry of the season, and he ran for 62 yards. And he also scored the go-ahead touchdown to put the Steelers ahead. And then the defense did the rest. They stopped the Colts from attempting a comeback, and they beat the Colts 24-17. And this was Pittsburgh's 8th straight win against the Colts. And as I finish up my recap, I just wanted to let everybody know, as of right now, all 4 teams from the NFC East are currently in the playoff picture, and they all have winning records. So put respect on our conference, considering last year we all had losing records. So put respect on our division. All right. And I hope to see y'all next week. And I'm out.